Alright guys, so today we're going to be looking at Season 1 of Call of Duty Cold War. We're going to look at the Battle Pass, Warzone, new game modes, new maps, all the new stuff, alright? And so, let's start out with Warzone and the Battle Pass, because that's probably what most people are most excited for. So let's go ahead and jump over to that. So essentially how both just Warzone as a whole and the store and the Battle Pass and everything works, right? You have three sections. You have your Cold War, your Warzone, and your Modern Warfare. And depending on what you pick, that depends on what it opens. And so the Battle Pass, let's just go through that really quick. Obviously, I cannot play a lot of these songs for copyright reasons, but I feel like this carries on the trend from Modern Warfare. The past 2 or 3 seasons really haven't been great with content. Season 1 and 2 of the Battle Pass for Modern Warfare were really cool, and then Season 3 was 50-50, and then kind of everything after that, including this season, Season 1 for Cold War, just kind of been okay. You know, I don't play Cold War that much, and there's nothing here that really would bring me back to the game to make me play it. You know, they need to be adding new operators at least, and cool new guns that aren't just carryovers from Modern Warfare. But moving on to actually Warzone, let's talk about how this works. It gets a bit confusing when you first hop in. So Warzone is essentially Modern Warfare with Cold War ported in, like I said. And what that means essentially is the same menus, all the same weapons, the same UI, same attachments, everything from Modern Warfare, just with the Cold War guns in, right? You don't have, Cold War UI or menus or any of that with Modern Warfare guns in it. It's all Modern Warfare's attachments, Modern Warfare's operator system, all of it's based in Modern Warfare, right? And so that's fine, when you drop actually into the gameplay of Warzone, it's both Cold War and Warzone guns, but being that there's double the amount of guns in, not Warzone, Modern Warfare, being that there's double the amount of guns in Modern Warfare, you're significantly more likely to come across and use Modern Warfare guns. But let's look at the actual gameplay of Warzone itself. And so Verdansk is still there with Plunder and regular Battle Royale, but then there's this new game mode that is 40 people on Rebirth Island. Now, this is alright. I mean, if you like Warzone, you like this. It's just less people and there's automatic respawns if your teammate survives X amount of time instead of the gulag. But essentially the way I look at this is it's kind of a seasonal event, right? You play on Rebirth Island for Season 1, and then that'll either go away or kind of take the back seat to a new map in Season 2. And that's kind of my theory for why it's a small map with few players, just so that they can rotate things and change things up with different game modes and new maps every single season, while Verdansk is still their standard Battle Royale mode. But again, nothing really blew me away here. Again, just like the Battle Pass, it's not going to bring me back to play Call of Duty. It's fine if you're already playing Call of Duty, it's just more content, but it's nothing to pull me back into the game. But let's switch over to multiplayer, and so we're going to look at the new modes first. So the first of the new game modes, we kind of did it backwards, but it is Gunfight, and this is straight from Modern Warfare. It's the same concept. You come on with a loadout, everyone has the same loadout, and you have 1 life, 2v2, and there's 4 maps to start. 2 of them, the game show and the kind of subway station, I don't know what it's actually called. Both those maps are really good, and then the other 2 maps are just iffy. They're fine, but there's not as many maps, I believe, as Modern Warfare Gunfight I had, but just my personal opinion on Gunfight, it's something that you play when it's new. It's really fun for a couple of days, and then you'd never touch it again. At least that's how I was in Modern Warfare, right? The game came out, Gunfight was brand new, I played it, it was one of my favorite modes, and then I just never touched it again after Season 1. So that's kind of how I feel this is. They'll add new maps to it here and there, and we'll try them out, but I don't expect anything crazy out of it. But from there, let's go over to Raid, which is a Black Ops 2 map that they brought back. They didn't remaster it or remodel it or even put a new skin on it. It is a straight 1-for-1 carbon copy from Black Ops 2 from 8 years ago. And again, with this, I kind of feel similar to Gunfight. It's something nice to have. It's cool to play on, but it's not something that if you weren't playing Cold War that you're going to come back and play Cold War for. It's just a little nice thing that when you go through the map rotation, it's like, hey, I remember this map, this was great. And I'm assuming they'll do that further as we get further within this season and other seasons, right? I'm sure Jungle and Summit, I'm pretty sure they just remastered Summit and Black Ops 4 2 years ago, so they're going to keep bringing back old maps. But speaking of maps, let's talk about the other map that they added, which was Mall. Now, this map is a completely, as far as I know, original map. You know, first appearance is in Cold War. It's their first time doing this map, and I actually like this map a lot. I think that this is probably one of the better Call of Duty maps that we've seen in a while. I think this is going to go down as one of those classic maps like Raid that in 8 years this comes back. And I think that's just because it works really well, right? You have the individual shops within the mall, which is good for SMG and shotgun gameplay, and then there's, you know, different alleyways and hallways that you can use, but then there's big, long hallways and these open areas in the middle. I think B, just the middle section of Domination, is really well designed to where it's not too far to where assault rifles are useless, but you can use a sniper rifle here. If you're within B, there's enough cover to run with an SMG. You have the overhead glass where score streaks are actually useful, which is a problem on a lot of maps where you just don't have score streak access because it's inside. So honestly, this is probably one of my favorite maps in the game. Now again, nothing that's going to bring me back to play Cold War. It's not this game-changing new feature, but when I am playing, it's going to be like when Nuketown came out, right? Nuketown, this, and Raid are kind of my go-to maps, and I even might like this a bit more than Raid. Again, I just think this is going to be one of those iconic maps that we come back to, but you guys let me know. This is kind of what I'm most interested about, what you guys think of the mall map, right? Everything else is kind of, I feel like most people are going to really like and respond well to, but this is where I don't know how everyone's going to feel about it. But the final thing that I want to touch on, well, one of the final things, is Prop Hunt. Now, this is kind of a gimmick game mode, right? But I'm not going to lie. This is the game mode I had the most fun in. Like, this is the game mode I wanted to play another match in after my first match. And, it's just Prop Hunt. Nothing special about it. But it's fun. It's really fun. If you've never played it before, I highly recommend playing it with a group of friends or something. It's just a fun game mode. Maybe you start or end with this in your play sessions, but it's just a fun overall game mode. So overall, how do I feel about the update as a whole? Again, I don't think that there's a lack of content. I mean, there's plenty of here. There's, 3 new game modes if you include Warzone 2 to multiplayer, 2 new maps to multiplayer, new guns within the Battle Pass, a whole Battle Pass with different cosmetics. You got new guns, technically, if you include Cold War guns in Warzone, all this type of stuff that is just plenty of content. It's just, none of it is really game-changing or super appealing. Personally, Prop Hunt and the mall map are my favorite things. I think Warzone and the Battle Pass are kind of, in my opinion, the 2 biggest things, or the lowest ranking for me. I think those are just kind of, you know, there's nothing special there. They didn't do anything unique, in my opinion. But the final thing I want to touch on is the store in the game. It's a direct copy and paste from Modern Warfare, same store, same prices for everything. The typical Call of Duty stuff where, you know, they don't put microtransactions in the game, so everyone puts their reviews out. And then once the reviews come in, people buy the game, they dump their microtransactions all over the place, so people will spend all of their money on it. But that's just me. You guys let me know what you think of this update. If you like it, if you don't like it, I'll see you guys on the next one.